Hey, I'm Birdman.
I'm Bruce.
Time to get on target at
The Hub. Here we are.
Bruce said a bad word.
No, did I?
He did.
You didn't record it, did you?
No.
I try not to say damn very often.
No, that wasn't damn.
Okay. It was another one. Okay. Could have been another one. Okay, so we're going to talk about another point of the gun today, and we've been talking about specialized guns, more or less.
Right.
Beginner guns, guns for protection, things like this. And we have to kind of grade them differently. So we're not grading them for comfort. So this is one we were going to do the other day, and somebody chickened out. I think it was probably me.
I won't shoot it, so
Yeah.
you could say I'm
Okay, so
done.
here we go.
As soon as I pick this gun up
Yeah.
and realize what it fires, cartridge-wise or bullet, whatever the heck you want, and the weight of it, I was like, yeah, no thanks, I'm not interested.
So let's just get right into what it is, actually. You want to do the shooting, and we'll talk about it.
Show us shoot.
Here we go.
Yeah, you'll notice the pause before the final three,
Yeah.
and then the difference between the first and the third.
Yeah,
The
so
second
what we
and third.
did, and we already preloaded, I preloaded it right there just so that way I know it goes counterclockwise and I don't go backwards. I wanted to get used to see what it felt like because this gun, I've never felt a gun this light. This is actually the Taurus 444 ultralight snub nose 2.5-inch barrel. It's lighter than my 629 considerably. I mean my 329 PD, which is titanium 4-inch.
Yeah, well, how about the Scandium one?
Oh, it's light. So this is a very light gun. In fact, they built the sights in just to the frame, so we
Right.
don't have to worry about it coming off probably. And it opens in at 2 locations.
Yeah, it's got a
The
crazy
back,
opening
and they
process.
got 2. You had to do 2 at once in order to open it. So titanium and aluminum, everything ultra lightweight. So why did we shoot it, and what's this for? It's a 444 ultralight titanium 44 mag in a snub nose, and I'm not sure if they're making this anymore. This is a used gun.
Yeah.
So when we get to the type and category, it's definitely a woods gun.
Yeah.
Okay, because it's not really comfortable for a target, so when we look at it as a woods gun, I know people are going to say, well, you have to always shoot those in order to be. And I think I would. I had psyched myself with this, and when it went off, I was pulling to the right a bit, and that's anticipating recoil in a way. So you'd want to shoot it a little bit, but I have so many other revolvers. I normally shoot like 3-7 and stuff like that a lot.
Yeah.
So I have the revolver down pretty well. I wouldn't have to necessarily shoot it quite as often and still be able to be in the zone where you'd have to be.
Did you hurt yourself?
Well, it's just kind of like that real lightweight one we were talking. We're kind of into recoil lately, haven't we?
Yeah.
We're talking about recoil. What happens is it jumps, and if it wasn't for these grips, it wouldn't have been that nice because it was pretty forgiving. But it jumped up, and my finger hit the front of the trigger guard, which is almost impossible not to have that happen unless you really have a grip. And we always talk about we've been talking about grip for a long time,
Right.
so we're not the weakest grip on the street, but still it has some recoil. But now, why would you want something like this that's brutal? Well, the thing is, we've talked before, especially backpackers and hunter backup for hunters, bow hunters that want to back up.
Right.
Ounces become pounds in a mile.
Yeah, sure they do.
So when you have something this light that has that kind of power, now I know it takes 2 openings to get it, but we talked before, we're not going to really be speed loading it. It's designed for protection.
If you don't get done what you need done
Yeah,
in 6
I mean that's your
months,
last
you're-
protection,
yeah.
but you'd have it with you protection because it is so light. So that's the key. So when we start to score these things, we have to take that into consideration before people think we're crazy.
Okay. So let's look at the score.
Let's look at the score. Category representation, we're going to give it a B+. I was going to give it an A. Only reason because I don't think there's another 2.5-inch snub nose titanium aluminum this light.
Right.
I think the only other one I know of is the one that I have. I have that 329 PD, but that's a 4-inch. So in a way, you could say, well, since there's no other category, it should be an A. No, it's still a B. So a B+ for that. Now here's where it loses a little bit, and that's the manufacturer's history. There's been a history of some Tauruses. See, they make a lot of guns, and they had some problems with certain models. They're not, I would say they're not a high volume gun.
Right,
So if you wanted to
right.
do a lot of target practice and stuff like that, and I had some issues with some I used in classes years ago, They just don't hold up over a lot of shooting. But then, as you saw, what this was like when it went off with the magnums in. In fact, those were 240 grain full magnum rounds, and the others were, I think, 240 grain 44 special. So the first 4 were 44 special hollow points made by Hornady, and the other, the first 3, and then the second 3 was the full 44 mag, which really rocked. And so,
tell, even without the sound, you can tell from the recoil.
Yeah.
Just the jump.
So manufacturer's history, we're going to give it a B-, only because this gun seems to be very good.
Right.
But then it's hard to, when we're talking about history, not to think of the other problems I had.
Right.
When they first brought the judges out, they're so much better now.
Right.
I had some in classes that locked up. So, you know, we have to forget that and look forward, because I know cars have problems too. So they make a lot of models. Intuitive safe handling, again, it's a revolver. So we always usually give those A's. Carry options, now this is funny because usually holstered guns we don't really give an A.
Right.
I think with this weight, allowing you to maybe do some kind of a regular shoulder holster,
or
a vest,
chest rig,
almost
or
a vest,
or,
chest rig, it's way too big for pocket with the hammer, and it shouldn't be used in a pocket. But you could put it even in a paddle, it's so light, if you had to. Not that you'd use a paddle in the woods.
Right.
I'd probably put a full flap on it, and you wouldn't even know you had this gun with you. So if it's a gun you want to have with you at all times in dangerous situations, but not shoot very often.
Right.
Now that's contrary to what people say about training, but you and I have been discussing this training thing.
So this is not a gun that you buy for your first gun in the first place. It's not a gun that you don't buy unless you really are familiar with revolvers already, have some experience. So you would shoot this maybe to make sure that the ammo works in it, which isn't really going to be an issue with a revolver anyway.
Not too often.
But you test fire it, stuff like that, but you practice with something else, because and if you know, once you shoot it, you'll understand why you're going to practice with something else, and you'll be on target with it.
Yeah. And you can shoot some 44 specials to feel the action. I'd probably shoot like I do in my lightweight, those 310 grain Garretts, which kick less than a 240 because they're designed for it. But this is a regular 240.
And this should not be your only wheel gun.
Oh no, that would be. And I'm not sure, since I never shoot my 44 mags hardly, my lightweight ones or carry. I mean, you can still pick a gun up and if you're used to revolvers a little bit, but you want to practice with it a little bit. So carry options, we're going to give it an A. It's the first time probably we've done that. Function, of course, it only shot 6 rounds. It's an A. Now, I give an A to the feel because of the grip, not because of what it did to my finger. Because in all reality, if I was trying to save my last, what this is for, I hopefully wouldn't have to shoot 6 times.
Right.
So I'm not sure how much it takes to hurt my finger like that, but I probably get a little bit more used to it. I was apprehensive. I pulled a few inches to the right, but of course all those shots were double action.
Right.
So cost, this is $600 used. So it's there's nothing like it. I mean, the other one that I have now, I think those things are like $1,100 or something.
Right.
And you never find them used. People hate them, and they always talk about them, but you never find them used. Shootability, I'm going to give it an A, and I put an asterisk there because we have to put the shootability against the category.
Right.
Doesn't sound right because we saw it shoot, and you saw it kick, but in this category, and I have to say, there's not another category.
Right.
I mean, it's like having a titanium snub nose.
Right.
Of course, we all shoot 38s, and they're not 37s. So anyway, so now it's a used gun. What's his overall score? I'll go somewhere between B+ and A-.
Okay.
Because of this category now.
Make a decision, Bruce.
Okay, I'll go between B+ and A-. So that's it. People can yell all they want. I mean, we have to look at some of these specialty guns as not being extremely comfortable.
There you go.
Anyway.
Cool. Awesome. So that is the Taurus, and it's the...
it's a Taurus 444 ultralight.
444 ultralight.
Titanium.
Yeah, they had to put extra forage just to keep it down on the counter because it will float.
Yes. Now, longevity, I don't have a clue, but I probably would not believe I'd ever shoot more than 100 rounds through it.
Right.
Of the full loads.
Awesome.
So I'm sure it'll be fine.
Cool. So everything else going good at the hub?
Yes, actually, well, the classes are going good. More people are getting involved.
Getting more ammo in?
Starting to. Well, now, this last week we ran out of some 9.
Okay.
But that's coming back in, so we're doing a lot better.
Awesome.
Mike's doing it every day. That's all he does is...
it's like a stockbroker. He's out there grabbing ammo as fast as
he's got to get up there first thing in the morning and try to get what he can get. But that's what he does all day down there. So besides working.
Yeah.
So.
Cool. Awesome. Hey, so make sure you check out thehubaz.com, check out the Facebook page and Instagram, and of course the YouTube as well. I'm Birdman.
And I'm Bruce, and be safe.
Hey, thanks for subscribing. Thanks for the comments. Keep doing it.
We sure will. Thank you.